I'll welcome Karim to kick us off with the first presentation. Welcome, Karim.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Karim Kanji, Ministry of Health. I'm a senior ICT officer as well as a software developer here at the Ministry of Health. So I'll give a brief on the Android release, the latest Android release that was released, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and the experience. I think I'll move on to the next slide. So Android 15. So the major focus on the latest release, that's version 1.6.0, was the Android 15 support, and also the OpenID authentication handling to use custom tabs. So this major release, the need for this update was a requirement by Google. Emails went out to developers to have, for those whose apps were not targeting Android 15 or higher, to do so by August 2025, which is almost, the deadline is almost around the corner. So there was the need to update the target API to target Android 15. Now, this necessitated this release. It was just in time so that we don't have apps removed from the Play Store for not meeting this requirement. All in all, the release process that we used, so we have an MOH specific kind of release. So normally, previously, before we moved to GitLab, we used to have the releases published on Play Store. Published on GitHub through the activation of releases. But now we have an MOH Kenya specific release process, which comes in the play that we check for any releases that are on GitLab, and we push it to the GitLab remote to the main branch in case any change were pushed to the main branch. And this auto builds for us the APKs, that's the training APKs and the production APIs. Then we later now publish them to the Play Store. So this particular contribution, we had already kind of cherry picked those changes that had been done for Android 15, the specific changes. We had done additional changes, but we cherry picked those changes and pushed them up to the fork that I had made on GitHub, and created a PR against it. So the whole release process is really specific, but the whole process, the whole builds, the whole Gradle builds happen the same way. Only that the GitLab configure, we have a GitLab pipeline that builds this the specific APKs, and any contribution that we have or any change that we have done to our flavor, we can push them up to GitHub and create a PR against what is on GitHub. Next slide, please. So my contribution experience. So when we got this notification to update the apps to Android, to target Android 15, the first thing that I did was to check if there's any latest release that was supporting Android 15. In this case, there was no particular release. So I checked in the issues in GitHub to see if there's any mention of Android 15. And fortunately, I saw there was an issue that was created. So the next step was to now fork. There was a mention of some changes that had been done but were incomplete. So there was the need for to pick up the the remaining tasks to ensure that the support was working on Android 15. Tested out, did the builds, tested it out on an device, tested it out on several physical phones, Google Pixels, which were running Android 16 and Android 15, confirmed they were working, and then pushed up the PR. After pushing up the PR, this was majorly to add the support for Android 15 so that we ensure that the target SDK is met. So the development process, I think the CHT docs really guide on how to set up the Android app, how to change the flavors. So I checked on the Google Docs to see how to decrypt. We had an issue of the keys, so the documentation was actually very helpful to see how to decrypt the keys, because the keys are stored encrypted. So we're able to decrypt the keys, we're able to set up the environment on Android Studio and to actually run the test. So with the help of the CHT docs on how to manage the flavors or the Android wrapper, that will next slide, please.
Karim, we are having some problems getting you. I don't know if it's on my end.
I get it too.
Sorry.
Problem.
Sorry about that. I don't know where I lost you.
That will be the previous slide on the last part, but all good now.
Okay. All right. I think the last part was the contribution on the license, just following the standards and following the basic contribution practices. So I forked to my fork to the branch or to the medic-repo. Okay, next slide. So the impact, so the impact of this contribution is at least everyone now benefits. Everyone who has a flavor generated on the repo now doesn't have to work on it by themselves. So this has enabled the global community to have their apps now updated on Play Store since the release. So every country or every member of the community who has their app, the CHT Android wrapper app on the Play Store, is able to just download the release and upload it to Play Store without having much issues. So all in all, I've gotten some hands-on experience in terms of Android development and open source collaboration, how it goes, the review process, and this was very insightful. And I think this is very instrumental, especially for MOH, giving back to the community by just giving some contribution to the CHT communities. Lastly, yeah, GitHub issues and releases have been really insightful and very helpful in terms of contributing back. I think even the documentation has also been very insightful, and I think this has been an eye opener that the community is really willing to have updates and contributions to the community, and especially the discussions around GitHub and how the issues have been raised are really helpful. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.